You're listening to the Kirkintilloch Herald, a Q & Review recording service podcast, brought to you by our team of volunteers currently recording from their homes across Scotland. Whether you're listening via the BWBF online players, the telephone app, or our brand new Alexa skill, please phone us on 0141 772 3976 to feedback on what you want us to provide and improve upon. Please also join your family and friends in being our audio ambassadors and share our Facebook, Twitter and Instagram all at Q & Review. That's @ CUEANDREVIEW.
This week's Kirkintilloch Herald, date Wednesday the 26th of October 2022. Welcome news for local workforce in Kirky. An article written by John McInnes and read to you today by Ian. A state-of-the-art £36 million super factory will secure the Scottish future of a company crucial to the whisky industry and is very welcome news for staff at its local sites. The huge investment includes a £3.3 million grant from the Scottish Enterprise and will see Gwala Closures Limited continue their operations here after planning was approved for a new ultra-modern facility in Gartcosh. The announcement safeguards the jobs of over 400 employees currently at the company's existing sites in Bridge of Allen and 2 sites at Kirkintilloch, who will now be merged at the new centrally located factory. Gwala Closures, headquarters in Italy, is the only manufacturer of closures to the whisky industry in Scotland and produces bottle pouring mechanisms for clusters including Diageo, Chivas, Edrington and William Grant. The company's general manager for Scotland, Ken Moran, said, "This investment confirms the Gwala Closures Group's commitment to developing one of its largest markets and underlines our determination to support customers, employees, suppliers and the Scottish economy. The new plant will benefit from investment in innovative technology enhancing productivity, process capability, closure functionality and, importantly, to contribute to the delivery of the group's sustainability strategy and core objectives." The Gwala Closures Group operates in 5 continents through 30 production plants, generating annual sales revenue of €600 million. Scottish Enterprise has approved the sale of the land at Gartcosh Business Interchange to Gwala for the new development. The 220,000 square foot factory will be built on a 15-acre site. It will be one of the largest factories in the Gwala Closures Group and will allow the company to increase the capacity, boost productivity, provide room for future growth and investment, and create their own dedicated research and development laboratory space. Construction is due to start next month and is expected to be completed by the end of December 2023, with operations due to begin from January 2024. Business Minister Ivan McKee said, "This long-term commitment to Scotland by a valued inward investor is excellent news. I had the opportunity to meet Gwala in Italy in February 2019 when discussions on their future strategy for Scotland began. Gwala are critical to the whisky industry here in Scotland. This investment in particular will safeguard 400 jobs in the industry, as well as have a positive impact on the Scotch whisky supply chain in Scotland. Latest exports of whisky, which now exceed pre-pandemic levels, underline the importance of the whisky sector's contribution to the economy, providing over $5.5 billion in gross value added to the economy and employing 11,000 people in Scotland." Jane Martin, Managing Director of Innovation and Investment at Scottish Enterprise, said, "The whisky industry continues to be of real importance to Scotland's economy and worldwide heritage. Gwala's confidence in investing here shows that it is a crucial sector and one that we in Scottish Enterprise are proud to continue to support. This inward investment has been possible as a result of the work and investment by Scottish Enterprise and partners to develop Gartcosh Interchange into an international class business and industry destination. Gwala Closures Group is a multi-million pound international business that sees enormous benefits in relocating its Scottish arm to Gartcosh Business Interchange. The 220,000 square foot manufacturing plant on the 14-acre site will be a huge boost to the area, bringing a skilled workforce and state-of-the-art technology and innovation that underlines its commitment to the industry and the region." Local MSP Rona Mackay said, "It is good news that the 400 jobs will be safeguarded and it's an excellent investment in a Scottish firm so crucial to the whisky industry. However, I am concerned that another major employer is leaving East Dunbartonshire and locating elsewhere, albeit to the neighbouring constituency of North Lanarkshire. I now plan to write to Scottish Enterprise to inquire what investment will be made here to compensate for the recent losses of Aviva, publishers HarperCollins, and now Gowalla due to relocation. Wednesday the 26th of October 2022. This week in history. October the 26th, 1905. Norway became independent from Sweden. On this day last year, scientists uncovered the precise way a type of antibiotic works to attack bugs, potentially paving the way for new treatments. October 27, 1971. The Republic of the Congo changed its name to the Republic of Zaire. October the 28th, 1971. The House of Commons voted in favour of Britain entering the Common Market by a majority of 112. On this day last year, a record number of 18-year-olds in the UK from the most disadvantaged backgrounds applied to the most selective universities and courses. October 29, 1986. The final section of the M25 around London was opened. On this day last year, Ed Sheeran released his fourth studio album, his first as a father and married man. October the 30th, 1938. Orson Welles' radio adaptation of H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds caused panic in the US by convincing many listeners that Martians had really landed. On this day last year, photographer Rankin highlighted the impact food waste has on the planet with a new series of pictures showing leftover produce fashioned into the shape of bottles. October the 31st, 1940, the Battle of Britain ended. The RAF lost 915 aircraft, the Luftwaffe 1,733. Strikes on the agenda. Unison and sister trade unions Unite and GMB are threatening to pull out local government school staff and refuse workers on strike again. Strike action was suspended after Unison members voted for an offer which was made to them by COSLA on September the 2nd. Trade union strikes remain suspended, but mandates remain alive, meaning Unison can legally call their local government members back out on strike again. COSLA now claim that the elements of the original deal, an extra day's leave and the payment of SSSC registration fees for those working in social work, social care and early years, were only for 1 year, not in perpetuity. Unison have written to COSLA to say, "It is frankly outrageous that the draft payment circular sent to us on October the 7th sought to time limit elements of the offer that had no time limitation on them in the original offer letter or in discussions we had had prior to it. That this remains unresolved should be a source of deep embarrassment. As has previously been advised, our strike mandates remain live and we are under increasing pressure from members who are rapidly losing faith in their employer to lift the strike suspensions if a resolution is not achieved quickly. Council staff are still waiting for their increased pay uplift to be included in their pay packets." Joanna Baxter, Unison Scotland Head of Local Government, said, "This is appalling behaviour. Either the employer did not understand the offer they themselves were making, or they did it and are trying to renege on it before it has even been implemented. Either way, it will be our members that suffer if they are allowed to get away with it. We have made it clear to the employer and the Scottish Government that our strike mandates remain live, and all three trade unions are under increasing pressure from members who are rapidly losing faith in their employer to lift the strike suspensions if resolution is found and call members out if a resolution is not achieved quickly."
NHS Open Survey is recorded by Hunter MacDonald. NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde is asking patients to share their experiences of accessing accident and emergency services and their awareness of alternative urgent care services such as GPs, pharmacies and NHS 24. The service has come under fire in the past for waiting times which are lengthy. This survey is completely anonymous and the Health Board hope the results will allow them to better understand how and why people use A&E so they can make sure the services which are being provided are both accessible and continue to meet the needs of patients. If you're interested in sharing your experiences with them, please complete the survey, which should only take approximately 5 to 10 minutes. The survey link can be found at https://link.webrepol.com, and at the end you'll find NHS GGC A&E survey.
Parliamentary tributes. Strathkelvin and Bearsden MSP Rona Mackay has led tributes in the Scottish Parliament to Kirkintilloch-born Martin McGill, who tragically died in the Creeslaw explosion earlier this month. Mr McGill lost his life, along with 9 others, in County Donegal on October 7th. The local SNP MSP put forward a motion expressing Parliament's sympathies to Mr McGill's family and paid tribute to the former local man's devotion to his elderly parents, which was supported by fellow MSPs across the political spectrum. In her motion, Ms Mackay said, "Parliament expresses its deep sadness at the death of Martin McGill, aged 49, originally of Kirkintilloch, East Dunbartonshire, who tragically lost his life in the petrol station explosion at Creeslaw, County Donegal, on 7th October 2022. She added, "I understand Mr McGill moved to Creeslaw in 2001 to look after his parents. He was devoted to his family and continued to care for his elderly mum after his father died. Parliament celebrates the life of Mr McGill who, it understands, was described at his funeral as a beautiful, gentle soul. We should also extend our heartfelt sympathies to his family, the families of the other 9 people who died in the blast, and to those who sustained injuries. The efforts of local emergency services, rescuers and volunteers who assisted in Arda Siocna must be commended. We hold the community of Creeslaw in our thoughts." Read by Alan Todd.
Independence is essential. MSP. Strathkelvin and Bearsden MSP Rona Mackay has said that a new Scottish Government paper, part of a series entitled Building a New Scotland, shows that Scottish independence is essential for a better future for East Dunbartonshire. The paper, A Stronger Economy with Independence, sets out the economic case for independence with a focused ambition on improving the lives, well-being and future prospects of the people of Scotland, as well as addressing key questions on currency, fiscal sustainability and trade. The paper illustrates the case for Scotland rejoining the EU, embedding greater workers' rights, and creating a migration policy tailored to Scotland's unique needs. SNP MSP Ms Mackay told the Herald, "This paper makes it absolutely clear independence is essential for Scotland to become a better and more equal economy that benefits not only all of the people living in my constituency, but right across the country. Right now, people, families and organisations are facing another round of austerity cuts as a consequence of the controlling hand of Westminster. This is set to damage our public services, push more people into poverty, and put pressures on businesses. We know that Scotland can do so much better. With good, stable governance, we can build a well-being economy that works for everyone. We've got what it takes. We've got the assets, talents and resources that can allow us to develop a stronger, greener, fairer, more open and more dynamic economy as independent."
General election. Almost 1,000 people in East Dunbartonshire have signed an online petition calling for a general election, figures show. The economic turmoil brought on by the government's recent mini-budget has caused anger amongst many, with numerous public figures suggesting that Prime Minister Liz Truss or even her entire cabinet should step down in order to restore stability. On Monday, the new Chancellor Jeremy Hunt reneged on most of the tax cuts laid out in the mini-budget in an attempt to win back critics of Miss Truss's administration. Nevertheless, a petition on the Parliament website calling for a general election has now reached more than 600,000 signatures, with 921 of those coming from people living in East Dunbartonshire constituency as of 3 p.m. on Monday of this week. Business leader at lunch. The Dunbartonshire Chamber of Commerce will welcome one of Scotland's foremost business leaders as the guest speaker this year's Christmas lunch. Sharon Deep Singh, Deputy Chief Executive at the Scottish Chambers of Commerce, has been confirmed to speak at the popular annual event. He is a key figure influencing and shaping government policy on both Scottish and UK levels by representing the needs of business, and is featured regularly in the national media as the voice of business. Chamber Chief Executive Damon Scott said, "We are incredibly privileged that Sharon Deep has made time in his busy schedule to join us at the Golden Jubilee for our Christmas lunch."
New Gaelic Project. A local group who are promoting the use of the Gaelic language at Eastern Bartonshire are hosting an information session. The Eastern Bartonshire Gaelic Group, together with the Moray Language Centre, will be holding an open meeting in Bishop Briggs Library on Saturday the 12th of November between 2 and 4:30pm. All those with an interest in the Gaelic language and culture and its future are welcome to attend. All those attending the session will learn exactly what an Eastern Bartonshire networked Gaelic community is all about by way of the following topics: learning Gaelic by way of super fast methods, training opportunities for tutors and staff, the family at home with Gaelic, network Gaelic communities and what exactly are they, a guest speaker who is raising their family to be Gaelic speakers, funding for students. This session also has the objective of bringing together a group of like-minded people who are enthusiastic in building an Eastern Bartonshire Gaelic network. It is hoped that this will encapsulate and engender a locally based stimulating range of Gaelic activities, services and facilities for Gaelic speakers at various levels. The intention and aim is promoting Gaelic with regard to individuals ultimately living a fully rounded Gaelic lifestyle. To this end, the group are keen to hear from both fluent Gaelic speakers and learners, or anyone based between these two stages. Even if you have absolutely no Gaelic at all, it doesn't matter. However, organisers say they will be expected to support and, if possible, help such an initiative get off the ground. Anyone interested in this Gaelic initiative project will be pleased to hear that there is a great deal of information available on this subject to be had simply by contacting Finlay MacLeod on email at finlaymlc@btinternet.com or telephone 01542 836 322. Interested parties can also contact Alan at alan.douglas@gmail.com. That's alan.douglas@gmail.com, or visit their Facebook page called Eastern Bartonshire Gaelic. Either person will be delighted to answer any questions you have regarding an Eastern Bartonshire Network Gaelic Community Initiative.
MP Amy, get a grip. The Tory government has been told to get a grip of the cost of living crisis and the fallout from its disastrous budget by the MP for Eastern Bartonshire, following warnings that the number of homeowners falling behind on their mortgage payments is on the rise. The UK's fourth largest mortgage provider, Santander, announced plans to set more money aside for potential defaults as rates continue to rise and households struggle after the Tory budget pushed the UK to the brink of economic catastrophe. Local MP Amy Callaghan said homeowners were being made to pay the brutal price of Westminster control and warned of the growing threat of a housing crash. Commenting, Amy Callaghan MP said, "The Tory government's budget has been an utter disaster, putting people's homes, pensions and incomes at risk, and demonstrating once again that Scotland needs independence so we can escape harmful Westminster control and get rid of the Tories for good." The latest grim warning of a rise in the number of homeowners falling behind on their mortgage payments must be a wake-up call for the Prime Minister and Chancellor to get a grip of the economic crisis it has created by reversing the damage of its budget and acting to get mortgage rates back under control. Households across Scotland and the UK are being forced to pay a heavy price for Tory economics, with the very real threat of a housing crash and people losing their homes. In stark contrast, the SNP Scottish Government is taking the steps it can to support people by freezing rents and putting money in people's pockets through the Scottish Child Payment. However, it should not be left to the Scottish Government to clean up the mess, as the Tories inflict hammer blow after hammer blow to the economy, households and businesses. It is beyond any doubt whatsoever that only with independence will we be able to keep Scotland safe and escape from Westminster's control and the long-term damage and chaos it continues to inflict.
Early years learning. Leaders from local authority and funded provider early years centres throughout Eastern Bartonshire joined together recently to hear from a range of inspiring and innovative speakers. The seminar was opened by Greg Bremner, Interim Chief Education Officer, and speeches were delivered by a number of participants. Their highly informative presentations on learning through nature and managing change prompted engaging discussion amongst those in attendance. Convener of Education, Councillor Linda Williamson, who delivered the welcome to the event, said, "This was an excellent opportunity for local authority and funded early learning providers to come together to share information and to hear from leading professionals in their field. I would like to thank all the speakers for joining us and sharing their knowledge as we continue in our efforts to deliver excellent learning services throughout East Dunbartonshire."
This column sponsored by the Scottish Government. Make sure you are receiving the support you are entitled to. Due to the cost of living crisis, many people are facing worries over things like rent, bills, energy costs and debt. As part of its response to this situation, the Scottish Government has launched a new website, gov.scot/cost of living support. From help with energy bills and childcare to health and travel, as well as benefits and payments, the new website acts as an important signpost to them all. One mother was able to access additional support through Social Security Scotland. "I got the Best Start Grant early learning payment for my daughter Ivy. It made a big difference. It meant I could buy her things I wouldn't have been able to afford, like clothes, shoes and jackets." There's also dedicated information for older and disabled people who can be particularly impacted by rising costs, including pension credits and disability payments. Help and advice is available. Support is available to help with the energy bills, as well as our funding for improvements, including insulation, to keep your home warmer. The Scottish Government funded Home Energy Scotland service is on hand to provide free and impartial advice online and by phone on 0808 808 2282. Many people are struggling to manage their debt and money. One organisation that can help is the Money Talk Team, which is funded by the Scottish Government. They can provide advice online, by phone on 0800 028 1456, or in person at your local Citizens Advice Bureau. No matter your circumstances, everyone is encouraged to seek the financial support they're entitled to. To find out more, please visit gov.scot/cost of living support.
Worrying figures. On this year's 999 Day, Scottish Liberal Democrat leader and health spokesperson Alex Cole-Hamilton MSP has urged the Scottish Government to support emergency service workers. He revealed shocking new figures that show a continuing increase in mental health related absences among ambulance staff, with the latest figures revealing absence hours totalling nearly 170,000 between July 2021 and June 2022. A Freedom of Information request submitted by Scottish Liberal Democrats found that between July 2021 and June 2022, there were 169,574 mental health related absence hours recorded by ambulance staff. This represents an increase of 60,515 hours from the previous year between July 2020 and June 2021, with the number of mental health absence hours totaled 101,015.
Improving OAP health. A former New College Lanarkshire student has completed a health study which will improve the health of elderly patients across Scotland. Mandy McConville, who is now in her final year of a sociology honours degree course at Glasgow Caledonian University, received a Carnegie Trust scholarship to research the socio-economic impact of vitamin D deficiency in the elderly in Glasgow. The student, who now lives in Kirkintilloch, has had her findings and recommendations submitted to Health Secretary Hamza Youssef. She praised her lecturers at the university, and in particular Professor John McKendrick, for their outstanding support, which allowed her this amazing experience. The former writer and graphic designer also hailed her lecturers at New College Lanarkshire for their contributions towards her success. Mandy, who went back to study at the college at the age of 47 to seek new challenges, said, "This research should not have happened would not have happened had it not been for the skills forged and knowledge fired within New College Lanarkshire's HND Social Sciences course based at Cumbernauld. I can testify as a current fourth year honours student at GCU that there really is a future in every course. My current path will hopefully lead to a PhD scholarship next year, but none of it would have been possible without the help and guidance of the amazing staff at NCL. Two lecturers in particular have pushed me to be my best self, John Gould and Chris Primrose. Even today, they are still pushing me to be my best self, and I am forever grateful for the day John offered me a place on HND1 Social Sciences. There I met Chris, who is easily the nicest, most selfless and knowledgeable man I have ever known. I would go back to NCL in a heartbeat, just to sit in his class and drink in his knowledge. In contrast to Chris, John is the calm that grounded me in stormy weather and kept me looking up even in the darkest of times. John, Chris and the whole team at NCL taught me to see that there is only one person holding you back in your life, yourself. Believe in yourself as they will, challenge yourself as they will challenge you, and enrol at New College Lanarkshire. I promise it will be the best decision you will ever make. Professor Christopher Moore, Principal of New College Lanarkshire, said, "It is always immensely satisfying to hear of the success of our alumni like Mandy. It's particularly rewarding to hear of the impact made by outstanding lecturers like John Gould and Chris Primrose. All of us at NCL are proud of Mandy's achievements so far and of the potential positive impact her research will have in Scotland's elderly population. We wish her every success in her academic career and beyond." New College Lanarkshire has been a top 3 institution in World Skills UK since 2013, ranking number 1 in the UK on 5 occasions. For further information, see www.nclanarkshire.ac.uk. That's www.nclanarkshire.ac.uk.
Consultation open. Conversation on dementia. Report by Julie Curry. People with lived experience of dementia and their families will be central to a new strategy which aims to improve care according to the Scottish Government. A national conversation has been launched which aims to identify what policy changes Scots would like to see. The consultation, which runs until December the 5th, will include online and in-person discussions, which the government said would feed into a new strategy and will be driven by a citizens panel. Questions in the survey include what challenges need to be addressed in dementia care. Alzheimer's Scotland is calling for action to address the so-called dementia tax, which says results in people in care homes paying for nursing care that would be provided by the NHS if they had any other terminal illness. The charity wants to see people with dementia given personalised assessments to determine how much nursing care they require and for this to be funded. The previous strategy was focused on improving the diagnosis of a disease that is estimated to affect around 90,000 Scots. Mary Welsh, Alzheimer's Scotland's chief executive lead for campaigns, said, "We welcome the launch of the Scottish Government's national conversation. As Scotland's leading dementia charity, the voice of lived experience is central to every aspect of our work. Our frontline staff across Scotland are supporting meaningful debate and discussions with people with dementia and carers to feed into the next national dementia strategy for the December deadline. However, the voices of the many individuals with lived-in experience who helped to shape the past 3 consecutive national dementia strategies cannot be forgotten, and we would welcome a review of commitments which remain outstanding as part of this important national conversation." The charity is hosting 2 online events, inviting people to tell them what matters most, what they feel works well, and what could be done differently. These will be held on November the 1st from 10:30am to 12:30pm, and November the 9th from 6:30pm to 8:30pm. If you would like to register for either session, visit www.alzcot.org. Minister for Social Care Kevin Stewart said, "Scotland has a track record in supporting people living with dementia, as shown by our world-leading commitment to provide immediate support in the first year after people receive a diagnosis. If we are to improve that record further, we need to put people and carers in the vanguard of our policy work, helping us develop a new story together that improves the understanding of dementia and allows more people to live well with it. Responses will be open until December the 5th, and will inform a new strategy to be published by April 23rd, 2023. A range of views. The Scottish Government said it needs to be the widest possible range of views from everyone with an interest in the lives of people living with dementia. For that reason, it is giving people until December the 5th to feed their views into the national conversation. There are 6 questions in total for people to answer, including what dementia means to you and those around you, what supports work well, what challenges still need to be addressed, and what the government needs to build and learn from. Free swim and gym time. Over 17,000 school pupils in Eastern Bartonshire will be offered free gym and swim access as part of the cost of living support package recently announced by the council. Between November 2022 and March 2023, all primary school pupils in the area will be able to enjoy free swimming, while secondary students aged 12 to 18 can access a range of free gym sessions. At its meeting in September, the council allocated Eastern Bartonshire Leisure and Culture (EDLC) Trust £500,000 to deliver this programme, which will potentially benefit 17,291 pupils from across the Eastern Bartonshire Council area. Council leader Gordon Lowe said, "We know the importance of activities that can boost both physical and mental health, but the cost of living crisis means many families face a financial barrier to accessing these for their children. As part of our £2.1 million support package, we wanted to give our school pupils the opportunity to remain active during these difficult times and enjoy the leisure facilities which we have here on the doorstep in Eastern Bartonshire. We are committed to doing whatever we can to support our residents, and we hope this initiative can help alleviate some of the financial pressures while inspiring our children and young people to enjoy exercise and leisure activities." The free swimming and gym sessions are available at all 3 leisure centres across the area, Allender, Kirkintilloch and the Leisure Dome, from Tuesday the 1st of November. Primary pupils can turn up to swim from the 1st of November, while secondary school age students will be asked to register and take part in a gym induction first. Registration will open shortly and must be completed in person at any of the 3 centres. All existing unlimited swim members of primary school age will be contacted and will benefit from no subscription payments during the term of this initiative, in order to ensure they do not lose out, having already paid fees. The same applies for any secondary school students who are already gym members. FAQs for parents/carers or pupils who want to find out more information are available on a dedicated website at www.edlc.co.uk/sports-leisure/leisure-center-information/free-swimming-and-gym sessions-school-pupils. Jim Neal, Chair of Eastern Bartonshire Leisure and Culture Trust, added, "Sport has a major part to play in our physical health and mental well-being, which in turn contributes to a happy and healthy society. It is therefore important that our young people are able to access local, high-quality sports and leisure activities. This fantastic programme will help thousands of local primary and secondary pupils, and I hope as many as possible take part and enjoy some swimming and gym sessions over the next 5 months." As well as the free swim and gym sessions, the council also reached agreement on a range of measures to address the current cost of living crisis, including an additional winter support payment for each eligible child, pharmacy vouchers to support those families in extreme short-term need with food provision, and energy vouchers for council tenants and people that may be experiencing homelessness within the council catchment area. Locals are being urged to take part. People in Scotland are being encouraged to participate in a nationwide survey to help inform a major public body on how engagement in decisions about land in Scotland can be improved. The Scottish Land Commission's easy-to-use online surveys have officially launched, giving people in Scotland an opportunity to make a meaningful contribution to land reform. The Commission is conducting 2 surveys, one for landowners and one for communities, to find out more about how private and public sector landowners engage with their local communities. The Land Reform Body is hoping to collect information on the progress that has been made so far, while the results will go on to help shape future guidance and regulation changes to encourage more effective engagement with communities when it comes to land. Hamish Strange, Chief Executive at the Scottish Land Commission, said, "Land is our most valuable asset. It is important to a variety of Scotland's ambitions such as net zero, natural restoration and community empowerment. By listening to the views of landowners and communities, it will paint a better picture of how community engagement has progressed and how it can continue to improve in the coming years. Land can and should work to everyone's benefit, and by engaging closely with those across the country, regulations and recommendations can be shaped to ensure that everybody is included in that benefit. The survey was first run in 2019 to establish a baseline of knowledge for the Scottish Land Commission. The latest survey is launched to look at how the situation has changed. The survey is now open and will run until the 30th of November. The research will then be analysed by the Scottish Land Commission, and results may be shared with the Scottish Government and other relevant organisations to inform future work programmes and priorities. The survey for landowners and managers can be found via the website online at www.smartsurvey.co.uk.
Election call. Stuart MacDonald, the SNP MP for Cumbernauld, Kilsyth and Kirkintilloch East, has backed calls for a general election. The MP said, "Of course there should be a general election. The Tories are inflicting nothing but chaos on us all with their disastrous Brexit and their appalling mismanagement of the economy and public finances. People are suffering through rising housing costs, food prices and energy bills, and it seems certain that worse is to come. The government has lost all authority and should go now. The Tories are barely even a political party now, so divided have they become. Never again should people in Scotland have a Tory government inflicting policies on us that we rejected at the ballot box, but we can only ensure that with independence for Scotland."
Family announcements. Deaths. Dobby, James, sadly at home on Wednesday, October the 12th, 2022. Jim, beloved son of the late George and Isa, much loved brother of the late George, Eileen, Walter and Robert, and a loving uncle to Ronald, Stuart, Drew, David, Diane, Lindsay and Robert. Funeral service to take place on Thursday, October the 27th at Daldowie Crematorium, arriving at 11:45am. No flowers please. Donations will be gratefully received after the service in aid of the British Heart Foundation. McGill, Martin, formerly Kirkintilloch, now Donegal, taken on Friday, October the 7th, 2022, after a tragic accident in Cresslaw, County Donegal. Beloved son of Mary and brother to Caroline and Mary Louise, uncle to Aaron, Jacob, James and Emily. A one-stop shop to help with the rising cost of living. A new website providing information on the wide range of advice and financial support available to people in Scotland has been launched. Developed by the Scottish Government as a one-stop shop to help those struggling with the cost of living crisis, the website includes information on help available for households to meet rising energy, housing and other costs. It also provides details on accessing the Scottish and UK social security payments, including online benefit calculators, as well as a wider health and wellbeing information. A programme for Government 2022-23 commitment. It will be supported by nationwide media campaign to raise awareness and signpost people impacted by rising costs to the help available. The website was launched by Social Justice Secretary Sona Robison during a visit to a death and welfare advice service in Tollcross, Edinburgh, run by charity Christians Against Poverty. Sona said, "I know that people are struggling with the cost of living crisis right now and may not know where to turn for help. Our cost of living website is a trustworthy online resource with information on the wide range of vital support available. No one should feel alone in this crisis, and the website, along with our campaign, aims to encourage people to find out if they're eligible for the extensive support available and the advice they need. We want everyone to get all the financial support and help that is available, so I would encourage people to apply for the payments they are entitled to. It might be just a lifeline that is needed right now. We have allocated almost £3 billion in this financial year to contribute towards mitigating the increased cost of living crisis, and the new website highlights a wide range of support at hand. Our package spans a range of support for energy bills, childcare, health and travel, as well as social security payments that are not available anywhere else in the UK. The website is an important signpost towards them all. The cost of living crisis is impacting every household in the UK, and the Scottish Government will continue to do everything within its powers and finite budget to ensure that people are supported as far as possible. Scotland National Director for Christians Against Poverty, Emma Jackson, welcomed the campaign. She said, "We are deeply concerned about the impact of rising costs on low-income households. Even before rising costs, over a third, 36%, of our clients had to borrow to meet essential living costs, and we know the consequences of problem debt can be devastating for people. The new cost of living website from the Scottish Government is a welcome step in helping people to find and access all the support available to them, including steps to maximise income. People need to know help is available. So now more than ever, we need to take every action possible to support households who are being hit the hardest by the cost of living crisis. To find out more, visit the new website at gov.scot/cost of living support. That's gov.scot/COSTOFLIVINGSUPPORT. Advice Direct Scotland is also on hand to help. For more details, visit www.advice.scot or call 0808 800 9060. That's 0808 800 9060. Opinion. Let's talk. This week's Kirkintilloch Herald letters page, Wednesday, the 26th of October 2022. Post-Indy borders would be a smuggler's paradise. Sir, the SNP plan for independence displays woeful ignorance, or at best dangerously delusional thinking, about the border between England and Scotland. The First Minister talks of checkpoints on the two main eastern and western arterial roads. She ignores, or doesn't know about, the many hundreds of other boarding crossing points, by road and by foot. With only 2 checkpoints, the Cheviots would become a smuggler's paradise for people and goods. She assumes that England and the EU would be happy with her 2 checkpoints. It is inconceivable that our UK, obsessed as it is with immigration, would accept a free flow of people and products from Scotland. The Cheviots could make the channel redundant for people smugglers. And let us not forget that England would be the main transit point for Scotland's envisaged booming trade with the EU, new ferries being a dodgy bet. Does anyone doubt London would not play nice? Finally, the independence enthusiasts rightly and repeatedly proclaim Scotland's magnificent history. But they are selective. They do not know of the medieval kingdom of Northumbria, which stretched from Edinburgh to South Pass York, with no border controls. People in our history enjoyed the same freedom of movement for work and play across the Tweed, which I dare say most borderers relish today. If the SNP thinks these issues can be easily dealt with, they must have overlooked the current UK-EU dispute over the Northern Ireland border, a minor niggle compared to the Scotland-England frontier. Yours, etc., Rodney Pinder. Address supplied. Brexit has been mission impossible. Sir, the departure of Liz Truss clearly illustrates the weakness of the UK outside the EU and confirmed Brexit as mission impossible. Global Britain was unable to set its own fiscal policy simply because the international money markets have zero confidence in its economy. At a stroke, the Liz Truss /quasi-quartine right-wing ideological experiment spooked the international community, destroyed the UK's long-standing reputation for reliability, and invited the ridicule and pity of other developed nations. After 6 years of Brexit self-obsession, British soft power is gone. When was the last time we saw international statesmen /women visiting Downing Street? These days they meet elsewhere. The UK is fast becoming a failed state, unable to even look after its own vulnerable citizens properly. With the highest inflation and interest rates and lowest economic performance of our neighbours, its citizens are struggling and distressed. UK pensions are the lowest in Western Europe, and GDP are lowly $46,433 per capita. Whoever succeeds Truss will not change any of this. Given our size, skilled population and abundant natural resources, Scotland's per capita GDP should be at least equivalent to that of our quietly prosperous, medium-sized neighbouring countries, like Denmark, $60,230, or Ireland, $93,350. Instead, we are trapped inside an isolated and declining UK economy, charged a payment towards England's capital infrastructure programmes, and unable to use Scotland's considerable renewable energy resources for the benefit of our own citizens, for example to lift energy costs for Scottish households and businesses. No country would choose to link its economy or the currency to the UK's. The only route to a successful and prosperous Scotland, able to realise the benefits of its own considerable wealth, is independence and membership of the EU's single market. Yours, etc., D. Jameson, by email. Lock and load. Sir, those decrying the pension triple lock on the grounds that the elderly have substantial equity in their homes encapsulates the willful callousness of the modern generation. The UK is not awash with comfortably off suburban pensioners like an episode of One Foot in the Grave. Most retirement homes are what tiny flats, often ex-council housing, the elderly could afford to provide security of tenure in old age. Having worked hard all their lives, often to the detriment of their health, they object vehemently to the feckless demanding of the more privations from them on the callous logic of "you've had your lives." Governments placating pensioners is not a matter of vote buying, it's the morality of British fair play before cynical economic Darwinism. Yours, etc., Mark Boyle, address supplied. National Survey to Gauge Land Reform. Report by Julie Curry. People across Scotland are being encouraged to participate in a nationwide survey to help inform a major public body on how engagement in decisions about land in Scotland can be improved. The Scottish Land Commission's easy-to-use online surveys have officially launched, giving people in Scotland an opportunity to make a meaningful contribution to land reform. The Commission is conducting 2 surveys, one for landowners and one for communities, to find out more about how private and public sector landowners engage with their local communities. The land reform body is hoping to collect information on the progress that has been made so far, while the results will go on to help shape future guidance and regulation changes to encourage more effective engagement with communities when it comes to land. Hamish Trench, Chief Executive at the Scottish Land Commission, said, "Land is our most valuable asset. It is important to a variety of Scotland's ambitions such as net zero, natural restoration and community empowerment. By listening to the views of landowners and communities, it will paint a better picture of how community engagement has progressed and how it can continue to improve in the coming years. Land can and should work to everyone's benefit, and by engaging closely with those across the country, regulations and recommendations can be shaped to ensure that everybody is included in that benefit." The survey was first run in 2019 to establish a baseline of knowledge for the Scottish Land Commission. The latest survey has launched to look at how the situation has changed. The survey is now open and will run until November the 30th. The research will then be analysed by the Scottish Land Commission, and results will be shared with the Scottish Government and other relevant organisations to inform future work programmes and priorities. The survey for land owners and managers can be found at www.smartsurvey.co.uk. The survey for community organisations and individuals can be found at www.smartsurvey.co.uk. It is the latest initiative from the Scottish Land Commission, which recently launched its Land @ Lunch bite-sized webinars to inform those across the country with practical information about land use and ownership. Participants will be able to ask questions and are invited to join from home or work, bring their lunch along, or even listen whilst taking a walk. Emma Cooper, the Commission's Head of Land Rights and Responsibilities, will steer the event. She said, "Our new Land at Lunch series aims to share ideas, stimulate action, and signpost people to useful tools and support on a range of land reform topics. We've chosen topics which reflect the subjects that members of the public, as well as those involved in owning and managing land, most commonly ask us about." To find out more about the series, visit landcommission.gov.scot/events. And that report was by Julie Curry.
Further disruption on our railways. ScotRail has confirmed that services will face widespread disruption when the train operators members of the RMT trade union take part in a day of strike action on Saturday, October 29th. It is the second day of strike action by ScotRail General Grades RMT members following industrial action on Monday, October 10th, and as a result of the trade union's rejection of an improvement pay offer made by ScotRail. More than 2,000 ScotRail employees are members of the RMT, including in roles such as conductors, ticket examiners, hospitality, station staff, engineering depot staff, train presentation, supervisors, resource coordinators and CCTV operators, though not all employees in these roles are trade union members. For ScotRail customers, this means widespread disruption across the country, with only a very limited number of ScotRail services operating on a small number of routes. On October 29th, ScotRail has confirmed it will only be able to operate a limited service between 7:30am and 6:30pm on the following 3 routes: Mulgai to Edinburgh, Waverley, via Glasgow Queen Street Low Level, half-hourly service. Glasgow Central to Lanark, hourly service. Glasgow Central to Larkhall, hourly service. The train operator is only able to provide this very limited service due to the number of contingency staff required to cover the shifts. It means there will be a very limited service for rugby fans heading to Scotland's first autumn international match against Australia, with fans advised to consider alternative arrangements.
It's time to safeguard your children. Almost 3/4 of parents in Scotland haven't named a guardian for their children, research from a charity will writing campaign has found. The poll, commissioned by Will Aid, revealed that the majority of parents do not have official plans in place for their children if they were to pass away. Some 72% of parents in Scotland haven't named a guardian, the national rate being 65%. Parents can ensure their children and wishes are protected by getting a will during Will Aid, an annual campaign which takes place every November. It involves participating solicitors waiving the fee for writing basic wills and instead inviting clients to make a donation to Will Aid, which is shared between 9 partner charities. Will Aid represents great value for people as the suggested donations, £100 for a single will and £180 for a pair of mirror wills, is less than most normal solicitor fees. Peter Davina Franks, Will Aid campaign director, updated his will during last year's campaign following the birth of his first child. He said, "Drafting a will is something which never seems to get ticked off the to-do lists, but it is an incredibly important part of life. Having a will brings peace of mind, knowing that your wishes will be respected in the event of your death, and, without one, it is likely to cause additional stress for your loved ones in what will be an already difficult time. I strongly encourage people who do not have a will to book their appointment now." People can find their local Will Aid solicitor by calling 0300 0309 558 or visiting www.willaid.org.uk.
Princess Royal Visit Service. Earlier this week, Sense Scotland staff at Touchbase Dumbartonshire were delighted to receive a visit from their patron, HRH, the Princess Royal. On Wednesday 19th of October 2022, Her Royal Highness toured the specialised social care provider service in Bishopbriggs, observing activities including music, art and baking, and meeting the people supported by Sense Scotland, their families, as well as staff and volunteers. During the visit, the Princess Royal was presented with a framed copy of Sense Scotland's 2022 Christmas card designed by Mark Niven, a person supported by the organisation. Mark said, "I'm feeling honoured and privileged to meet the Princess Royal. I'm also very proud to be presenting Princess Anne with my artwork, and I hope she enjoys my Christmas card. Meeting the Princess Royal will be a special experience I will remember forever." Her Royal Highness's visit also provided an opportunity for Sense Scotland's trustees to highlight the current challenges within the social care sector and the impact of this on the people they support and their families. The Dumbartonshire service, along with other visual impairment and learning disability (VILD) services, was successfully transferred to Sense Scotland from the Royal National Institute of Blind People (RNIB) in January 2022. This transfer ensured the continuation of quality, specialised care for 90 families and sustained employment for 100 members of staff. As patron, HRH the Princess Royal has a long history of supporting Sense Scotland. In 1991, she opened the charity's Family Resource Centre in Glasgow. In 1997, she opened their supported living services in Coatbridge, and in the last 20 years, she has officially opened the organisation's Touchbase Glasgow and Touchbase Lanarkshire services in 2008 and 2016 respectively. Angela Bonamy, Sense Scotland CEO, said, "Her Royal Highness's latest visit demonstrates her ongoing, unwavering support for Sense Scotland and people with communication support needs associated with physical, learning and sensory disabilities."
It's okay to ask for more information. Through the It's OK to Ask campaign, people in Scotland are being encouraged to ask their healthcare providers more questions about their treatment and be more involved in decisions around their care. The campaign aims to break down communication barriers and create open, positive conversations to ensure patients have full information on the options available. Patients are being asked to consider 4 key questions when they next attend an appointment. What are the benefits of my treatment? What are the risks of my treatment? Any alternative treatments? What if I do nothing? John McInnaugh, NHS24 Associate Clinical Director, said, "It's OK to Ask was designed to help people feel empowered to ask for more information during the discussions with health professionals. To find out more, visit www.nhsinforum.scot/campaigns/It's OK to Ask.
District News, Wednesday the 26th of October 2022. Churches: Kirkintilloch, Springfield Cambridge Church. Morning worship on Sunday, October the 30th will be led by Reverend Ian Taylor, Reverend Edson Duque de Castro and Mrs Julie Harty at 11 a.m. in the sanctuary. The service will include an act of dedication for the 268 Boys and 65 Girls Brigade companies. The Sunday school meets in room 2. There is also a creche facility where we will be happy to look after your child, birth to 3 years, in room 2. Morning worship is also being live streamed on the Springfield Cambridge Church YouTube channel. A link to this can be found on the Springfield Cambridge Church website, www.springfieldcambridge.org.uk, and Facebook page, where up-to-date information about events and church organisations can also be found. Tea and coffee is available after the service in the Cameron Hall. Come along and enjoy the fellowship. There will be a vestry hour on Wednesday, October the 26th from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. for anyone who wishes to speak with the minister. There will be a short weekly service of worship in the Springfield Chapel on Wednesday, October the 26th from 11:10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. with refreshments afterwards in the Hall of Fellowship. The relaunch of our successful junior chorus at Springfield Cambridge Church as part of Springfield Cambridge Festival Chorus has now taken place. If you are interested in joining in, please come along and join the fun on Sunday, October the 30th from 12:30 p.m. to 1 p.m. Boys and girls aged 7 to 14 are all welcome to come and see what it's like to sing. No addition required and no fee. All music will be provided on the day. Further information from Catherine Taylor, our junior chorus leader. St Columba's Hillhead Church. Do join us for our Sunday morning service at St Columba's at 10 a.m. or at Hillhead at 11:30 a.m. Tea, coffee and juice are served after the service at St Columba's and before the service at Hillhead. We'd love to meet you, but if you really can't come to a service in person, you can still connect with us by live stream from St Columba's via www.kirkintillochstcolumba's.org.uk or by searching for St Columba's Hillhead Kirkintilloch on YouTube. We also have a shorter midweek service at St Columba's on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Busy Bee's Carer and Toddler Group is at Hillhead on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. and Little Fish's Carer and Toddler Group is on Fridays at 10 a.m. at St Columba's. No pre-registration needed. First Kirkintilloch BBE meets on Friday evenings for school-aged boys. We also have 2 groups for children and adults with learning difficulties, Friendship Club and Following Jesus group. Reverend Philip Wright, Minister, St Columba's Hillhead Church, Old Isle Road, Kirkintilloch, G66 3HQ, and 2 Rosebank Avenue, Kirkintilloch, G66 2PR. P. Wright at churchofscotland.org.uk. Mobile 07427 623 393. Kirkintilloch Church of God. At Regent Hall, Regent Street this Wednesday, there will be a Coffee Corner Harvest special commencing at noon. For lunch, followed by a lively seasonal programme. Do join us as we celebrate harvest time together. On Sunday there will be a Zoom service at 6 p.m. The speaker this week will be David King from Manchester. A warm invitation to everyone who is able to join us on Zoom. Access details for the stream can be obtained by emailing hello@regenthall.org. For up-to-date and further information on our services, visit our website on www.regenthall.org. Jesus said, "I have come that they may have life and have it to the full." John chapter 10, verse 10. Home Church, Scotland, Lammermoor Road, Kirkintilloch, G66 2AB. Do not be afraid. I am with you. I am your God. Let nothing terrify you. I will make you strong and help you. I will protect you and save you. Isaiah chapter 41 verse 10. One Church, Home Church, 4 locations, Kirkintilloch, Glasgow, Stornoway and online. A church for all ages. 9:30 a.m. Communion. 10 a.m. prayer time. 10:30 a.m. fellowship, tea and coffee available. 11 a.m. worship service in Children's Church, followed by tea and coffee. The Sunday evening service is in Renfield Church, Bath Street, Glasgow at 7 p.m. Minibus leaves Home Church at 6:30 p.m. Wednesdays at 7:15 p.m. is a fellowship night, including a time of prayer and Bible study. Bible study in Glasgow at Renfield Centre on Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. Alpha is on Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. in Kirkintilloch. Youth meet on Fridays at 7:30 p.m. for Youth Alpha and Fellowship. Our winter kitchen will run every Saturday at 6 p.m. from October to April for a meal, a warm place and fellowship. See Facebook and Instagram for up-to-date information. St David's Memorial Parish Church. At St David's Memorial Park Church, our morning service on October the 30th will be at our usual time of 10:30 a.m. and will be led by our Church of Scotland reader, John Nicholson. During our morning worship, school-aged children will have the opportunity to go through to our halls for their own time of fun of learning with JAM. All are welcome to attend our service. There is still some COVID measures still in place, however. The wearing of face masks is not mandatory at this time. We look forward to welcoming you to the church. Our Tuesday lunchtime service will be held each Tuesday from noon in our small hall. Our next service will be Tuesday, November the 1st. All are welcome to attend the afternoon service. Our guild will be meeting on the same day from 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. The guest speaker will be Drina O'Malley from Deafblind Scotland. We would like to extend a warm invitation. Lenzie Union Parish Church. Sunday worship on October the 30th is at 11 a.m. led by Reverend Dan Carmichael. This includes Boys Brigade and Girls Brigade parade and dedication service. There is tea and coffee in the new hall after the service. Young people are also welcome to the Lighthouse and Bible class. A live stream of the service is available on YouTube via our website. Monday, October the 31st, the Guild meets at 7:30 p.m, where Michaela Foster Marsh will talk about the Guild project Starchild. Craft Cafe Tuesday, November the 1st from 2 p.m, in Dean House. An opportunity to chat and have a cup of tea while keeping minds and hands busy with craft work. Bring your own craft work. The Meeting Place Coffee Shop is open on Wednesdays 10 a.m. to noon in the new hall. Meet your friends and enjoy a chat over a cup of tea or coffee. Everyone, from the very young to the young at heart, is welcome to attend. We also have a good selection of greetings cards and second-hand books for sale. The coffee pot is open on Fridays 10 a.m. to noon in the new hall for teas, coffee and chat. Kenmure Parish Church. A warm welcome will be extended to all who join us in our Sunday morning service beginning at 11 a.m. This week it will be held by John Anderson and Margaret Russell. The wearing of masks we leave to personal choice throughout the sanctuary. The service will be live streamed on YouTube and can be found by searching for Kenmure Bishop Briggs. Details of all of our groups that are currently running may be found on our website kenmure-church.co.uk. To find us on Facebook, just search for Kimmuir Parish Church. If you would like to join our WhatsApp group or receive the Bible studies from ABC, then email us at kimmuirchurch@icloud.com. Colston Wellpack Church. Come along to our church service this Sunday at 11 a.m, led by Reverend Leslie Grieve. Tea and coffee served in the church hall after the service. The Colston Art Club continues this Monday from 10 a.m to 1 p.m. New members welcome, and if interested, contact 07709 584 680 for more information. The 200th Boys Brigade has restarted with company and seniors on Fridays at 7 p.m. The Brownies have also restarted and are on every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. All girls aged from 7 years to 10 years welcome. The food bank remains open every Friday and Monday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. All donations of non-perishable foods greatly appreciated. Please note, as of November the 4th, the food bank will now be taking place on Fridays only, and at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Follow our church services at Facebook at Colston Wellpack Parish Church. And if you require further information on any of our church activities, etc., contact Leslie Grieve on 07813 255 052. St Mary's Parish Church. The usual Sunday service will take place on Sunday, October the 30th, beginning at 11 a.m. It will be taken by the Reverend Dr. Ruth Morrison. Wednesday morning continues on every Wednesday beginning at 10 a.m. for tea, coffee and a chat. This is followed at 11 a.m. by a short service. The Young Church are holding a craft fair on Saturday, November the 12th, opening at 10 a.m. and closing at 4 p.m. There will be a number of stalls displaying and selling many of different craft items. It will be an ideal time to do a little Christmas shopping and then rest in our tea room, where tea and coffee and home baking will be available. Between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m, soup and bacon rolls will also be available. Milton of Campsie Church. We are back in the building, no need to book. If you sit in the centre aisle, there is no need to wear a mask. If you sit in the side aisles, please wear one. Time to Pray has resumed its meetings on a Wednesday at 7:15 p.m. Come and go as you please. Our harvest appeal for Christian Aid currently stands at £800 plus gift aid. Thank you. Monday, Baby and Toddler Group, Hobbies Club, Badminton Club. Wednesday, Time to Pray at 7:15 p.m, the Fellowship at 7:30 p.m. Friday, BB Anchor and Junior sections of the BB. Next Sunday, we'll be reading about Zacchaeus. Send us a photo of yourself beside or up a tree. Lindsay Old Parish Church. Sunday morning worship is at 11 a.m, conducted by Reverend Louise McClemens. Sunday school for children aged 3 years to primary 7 and focus for young people. A creche is available for children under 3. Time Out, a friendly and welcoming group for ladies of all ages. Meet in the church hall on Monday, October the 31st at 7:45 p.m. The speaker is Don Martin with an illustrated talk in Beatrice Clugston. The Quilting and Craft Group meets on Wednesdays mornings from 10 a.m. in the session room. Come along for crafting, chat and coffee. Scottish Country Dancing is on Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. in the church hall. A gentle form of exercise for body and mind. All welcome. District News, General, Wednesday the 26th of October 2022. Celebration 25 years of the Park Centre. The Park Centre in Kerr Street is 25 this month. To mark this milestone, there is a celebration event on Saturday, October the 29th from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. with tabletop sales, a tea room, craft displays and bookstall. Entry is £2. Deputy Provost Colette McDermott will open proceedings at 10 a.m. The Park Centre is a volunteer-run community facility which has been created in the Old Park Church to provide attractive, accessible accommodation for local groups, including choirs, dancing, yoga and dog training sessions. Contact points of coffee clubs, the local seniors forum and antiquaries, Seritas de Cafe and the VIPs group for the visually impaired to mention a few. For more details, call caretaker John McLaren on 0141 776 1101. Financial crisis. Scots struggling with their household bills have been urged to get help as a new survey reveals 600,000 feel a heavy burden. Research by the Finance Conduct Authority, FCA, shows 14% of Scottish adults are finding it difficult to keep up with their domestic bills or loan payments. The Financialised survey has also found that around 400,000 people had missed a bill or loan payment in at least 3 of 6 months to May this year, around 8% of adults. Advice Direct Scotland, which runs the national debt advice service moneyadvice.scot, say people who find themselves in financial difficulty should not struggle alone. Moneyadvice.scot, which is regulated by the FCA, provides free information and support on a wide range of debt-related issues. Specialist debt and money advisors can work with people to assess their current situations, look at their income and outgoings, and consider what to do next. They can be contacted on 0808 196 2316 between 9am to 5pm, Monday to Friday. Colin Matheson, spokesperson for Advice Direct Scotland, said, "This new survey from the Financial Conduct Authority shows the impact of the cost of living crisis is having on people's finances and under the pressure they are under. With so many Scots finding it difficult to keep on top of their bills, it is important that people realise they do not have to struggle alone." Advice Direct Scotland has a wide range of services that can help with things like tackling debt and understanding energy bills. Our specialist advisors at moneyadvice.scot can work with people to assess their current situation, look at their incoming and outgoings, and consider what to do next. By reaching out for advice and support, or having a conversation about our situation, we can put ourselves back on track. Thanks, driver. Bus and coach drivers have been revealed as the UK's most thanked workers, receiving a thank you on an average of 37 times a day, 5 times greater than the national average. As many as 4 in 10 bus and coach drivers get thanked over 50 times a day, dwarfing other sectors like healthcare and retail, where just 1% and 3% of workers are thanked 50 times a day, respectively. The research of 2,000 passengers and 1,158 bus and coach drivers also found 4/5 of Brits thank their driver, with 9 in 10 drivers saying that thank you positively affects their well-being. Westminster View, It's Time for the Prime Minister to Go, by Amy Callaghan MP. Surely nothing can epitomise that more than MPs returning from summer recess on Monday, September the 5th, and by the Friday there was a new Prime Minister, Cabinet, and even a new monarch too. Liz Truss has been known for that speech about cheese and for her U-turn from Remainer to staunch Brexiteer, but nothing will go down in history more than the bleakest mini budget delivered by her Chancellor. A budget for the super rich. A budget that crashed the economy. A budget for Tory donors. Now, even at the time of writing this, the placeholder Prime Minister looks set to become a pub quiz answer alongside Kwasi Kwarteng. I suppose we can be thankful it's a pub quiz and not a Zoom quiz. Having sacked him, favouring Jeremy Hunt instead. The 4th Tory Chancellor in 4 months. The man who has ripped up Trussonomics mere hours after his appointment. Most of what he's torn to shreds we can be content with, but his watering down of energy support is nothing short of a disgrace. Austerity 2.0 is set to be bleaker than I dared to imagine a few short months ago. These first few weeks of Truss's government have shown her slogans spouted during the leadership contest are not empty meaningless words. She blamed workers unable to pay their bills for a lack of graft, and is now the Prime Minister dead set on pursuing her anti-trade union bill. One that takes an axe to hard-won workers' rights. Not only that, but the reckless mini-budget has led to the value of the pound falling to a record low, while interest rates are sky high, meaning it is now near impossible for people to remortgage their homes or buy their first property. I feel uncomfortable calling for anyone to resign, but when it comes to a Prime Minister who has committed such swift and catastrophic damage to the lives and livelihoods of my constituents, it really is time for Liz Truss to find the door. Amy Callaghan is MP for Eastern Bartonshire. She can be contacted by telephoning 0141 286 4086 or by emailing amy.callahan.mp amy@parliament.uk. She can also be reached via website at www.amycallahan.scot or from her Facebook page www.facebook.com/amycallahansmp. Public notices. Planning notices. Eastern Bartonshire Council public notices. Planning applications. 32 Victoria Road, Lenzie, Eastern Bartonshire, G66 5AN. Install solar panels and front rear roof elevations. Section 65, affecting CA, 21 days. 38 Victoria Road, Lenzie, Eastern Bartonshire, G66 5AN. Replacement roof tiles, fascias and rainwater goods. Section 65, affecting CA, 21 days. 40 Cross Hill Road, Lenzie, Eastern Bartonshire, G66 5DD. Replacement windows, Section 65, affecting CA, 21 days. 17 Victoria Road, Lenzie, Eastern Bartonshire, G66 5AM. Single storey rear extension and the replacement of 2 rear windows. Section 65, affecting CA, 21 days. Site adjacent to footpath, east of Alderson House, the Clachan of Campsie, Eastern Bartonshire. Amendment to layout of House 3 to incorporate additional bedroom and amendments to external finishes. Section 65, affecting CA, 21 days. The application plans and other documents can be viewed online through the Council's website. The current restrictions on non-essential office work associated with the coronavirus pandemic means that plans cannot be viewed in Council offices as normal. Written comments may be made within the above period to the Council through the Council's website or to the above address. Any representations will be treated as public documents and made available for inspection by interested parties and may also be published on the Council's website. Sport. Maxie's hungry for silverware. Kirkintilloch Rob Roy boss Stuart Maxwell believes his squad has what it takes to get their hands on some silverware this season. Rob Roy were in action in the West of Scotland League Cup at the weekend as they travelled to Easterhouse. There was never any chance of an upset against a side 4 divisions below them in the pyramid, as Connor Hughes and Brian Daly both scored hat-tricks in a 6-1 win. Maxwell said, "The pressure was on us to perform and I thought we applied ourselves really well. The club's last major achievement was winning the Central Sectional League Cup in 2016-17, but haven't lifted the West or the Scottish Junior Cup since the 1960s, despite several final appearances since then." And ahead of Rob Roy hosting Arthurlie in the Scottish Junior Cup on Saturday, Maxwell believes it is time for that to change. While he admits winning the West of Scotland Football League Premier League may be a step too far at this stage, he thinks that everything else is up for grabs. He said, "I'm realistic. We've had a good start to the season and sit second in the Premier Division. We have shown we can compete, but also know where we are in the food chain. We have a younger group of players who I don't think have come close to peaking yet, and we just need them to keep having belief and make sure we stay in the mix. Whoever wins the league will ultimately have deserved it over the course of the season, but there is no reason we can't go out and lift a cup, which would be wonderful for the supporters. We've got to the latter stages of cups before, so know where it takes as a squad. There's no telling what these boys can achieve." Meanwhile, the club has offered its condolences following the death of 1962 Scottish Junior Cup winner Jim McLeod. A spokesman said, "Jim was very proud of his achievements with the Rabs and would often reminisce with family and friends about the team he played in and how that success was built on hard work and a brilliant team spirit. He will be sadly missed by all connected with the club, from players to fans. We send our condolences to all of Jim's family and friends during this lost difficult time." Ashfield into next round. Ashfield are through to the next round of the West of Scotland League Cup as a 90th minute penalty saw them overcome visitors Vale of Clyde. A goal by Jordan Peary and a Fraser Sheridan double had put the home side in a commanding 3-1 lead at half time. Vale came back in the second half to equalise, but in the final minute Peary was given the opportunity to win it after he was brought down in the box and he held his nerve for 12 yards. Ashfield are away to Forth Wanderers in the West of Scotland Football League 2nd Division on Saturday. Petershill threw away a 2-goal lead at Cambuslang Rangers as their first Premier Division victory of the season continues to elude them. The visitors took the lead after just 6 minutes as a free kick from Eddie Ferns on the left was headed back across the keeper and in by Jordan Scott. On 20 minutes it was 2-0 as a quick break enabled Ferns to cross from the right for Jack McKenna to volley home from 6 yards. However, Scott Hansen pulled one back for the home side before half time, and then Alan Reid equalised on the 70th minute, meaning Petershill had to settle for a point. Petershill are at home to Carnoustie Panmure in the Scottish Junior Cup on Saturday. Rossvale lost 2-1 at home to St Cadoc's in the First Division. Gavin Goodall gave them the lead, but like Petershill they are finding it difficult to get their maiden win, and the away side fought back with a Gary Muir penalty and a Don Slattery header. Rossvale Academy are out of the West of Scotland League Cup after a 3-2 away defeat to Wishaw as they lost a late goal for the second week in a row. Mel Porter scored the only goal of the game as Rossvale women defeated the Dryborough in the SWF Championship. Rossvale and Rossvale Academy have no fixture, while the women's travelled to Livingston on Sunday. Glasgow Perthshire lost 4-3 away to St Anthony's in the second division. The home side went 4-0 up before Daniel Morrison and Craig Monroe pulled 2 back before half time. David Kirkwood scored a third in the second half, but the equaliser was found and Perthshire were left aggrieved, claiming St Ant's first was offside, where they were denied a strong penalty shout. Perthshire are at home to Wishaw in the league on Saturday. West Park United had no fixture at the weekend, but returned to action on Saturday at home to Threave Rovers in the First Division. Glasgow City win both games away to Glasgow women in the past week, scoring 14 goals without reply. First up, the sides meeting the SWPL in midweek as a brace from Emily Whelan with goals from Lauren Davidson, Claire Walsh and Abby Grant contributed to a 5-0 win. On Sunday, the sides met again in the quarter-finals of the Sky Sports Cup, with City winning 9-0. There was hat-tricks for Jenna Clerk, braces for Davidson and Sarah Gibb, plus goals from Whelan and Sophia Martin. City host Celtic on Sunday, with both sides having a 100% record in the league so far. Tigers pull out of the Jubilee final. Glasgow Tigers have taken the decision to withdraw from the Championship Jubilee League final and will not take place in the planned 3-legged final. Following the death of the Queen, the club had previously suggested the competition should be abandoned, but Poole and Leicester still wish to continue. However, with a lack of available dates and ever worsening weather on the horizon, Tigers have now decided to withdraw, leaving the Pirates and Lions to compete in a straight shootout. Club director Alan Dix said, "Having qualified for the Championship Jubilee League final, alongside Leicester and Poole, we have taken the decision to withdraw from the competition." Following the death of HM Queen Elizabeth II on September the 8th, we suggested that the competition be abandoned as a mark of respect. To us, it didn't feel right to race in a competition commemorating the Queen's Platinum Jubilee shortly after she had passed away. However, the other 2 finalists still wished to go ahead with the final, which we respected. Whilst our season was effectively over on October the 2nd, following our playoff semi-final defeat to Poole, this wasn't the case for Poole, who were still in the race in the K-Off Cup final and the Championship Grand Final. Given the above, the lack of available dates, and the likely weather between now and the end of the month, we have taken the decision to withdraw from the competition. We would like to wish Poole and Leicester the best of luck in the final. Meanwhile, Tigers captain Ulrich Ostergaard has announced his retirement from the sport after failing to fully recover from an injury. He said, "I've been thinking a lot in the last few weeks about my future and my speedway racing, and I have decided to call it a day. It's a massive decision, as speedway has been in my life since I was 11 years old, and as a pro in the UK since 2003. My injuries, especially my crash last season breaking 3 bones in my back, and my hand injury this season, had made me think that it's better to stop now than risk something even worse. My back has not been 100% since the crash, but I gave it all this season as I wanted to come back and race again after that, and was hoping it would have been better by now. I have done and won a lot more than I thought I would, and I have been living my childhood dream out, and I would never change a thing about my whole career, which has given me so many happy memories I will never forget. I've got so many friends in this sport who I'll miss seeing regularly, which is going to be hard, but I'm sure I still will still travel over and see you all. I have met some great people and sponsors who have helped me and supported me over all these years, and without you I would not have been able to do it. Thanks to all the clubs I have ridden for. You've all been great, and thank you to my family, especially my wife Annie and my kids, for allowing me to do what I love and stay behind me 100% in good and bad times. I'm proud and happy for the adventure, and will never forget all that I have been through. Injury hits Maya as ITF Tour comes to Glasgow. Lindsay tennis player Maya Lumsden was back at home as the ITF World Tennis Tour arrived in Glasgow last week. The Glasgow $60,000 Pro Series took place at the Scotstoun Tennis Centre, with Lily Miyazaki taking the title. Lumsden was back in court following her biggest success to date at the first Empire Women's Indoor Tournament in Travna earlier this month. She teamed up with Mariam Bolkvadze from Georgia to win the doubles in straight sets over Diane Markievica and Connie Perrin. Lumsey also reached the quarter-finals of the singles in Slovakia, but in Glasgow there was to be an unfortunate second-round exit. The 24-year-old, who had fitness concerns ahead of the tournament, was forced to retire in the third set against Nagina Abduriramova. Earlier in the week, she had beaten fellow Brit Elise Maloney in the first round.
Thank you for listening to this week's Kirkintilloch Herald Podcast, brought to you by Q Review Print Speaking to the Blind. If you've any feedback, you're welcome to call us on 0141 772 3976. If you enjoyed this recording, feel free to subscribe to our channel.